said, سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this beautiful ayah confirmed for us that yes, indeed, there was an Isra that took place from Al-Masjid al-Haram, Mecca al-Mukarramah, to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, Jerusalem. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him peace, inshallah, and bring it to the hand of the Muslims, inshallah. So we are sure that the incident of Isra and Miraj took place. The Miraj also is being mentioned in Surah Al-Najm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned there, فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the place or the status where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is able to achieve. Let's go now to the background of Isra al-Miraj. Did it happen in Rajab? We are not sure about that. The ulama of Tariq, the scholars, they have different opinions. Some of them said it happened in Rabi' al-Awwal. Some of them they said it happened in Ramadan. Some they said it happened in some other months. Some they said also it happened in Rajab, subhanAllah. The day of Rajab, a lot of them said the 27th. Some they said other days. So we are not sure that it happened in Rajab. Whenever we're not sure about something that happened exactly on that day, it means that this is not something mashhur, it's not something famous. Meaning that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't celebrate that. And the Sahaba didn't celebrate that. If the Sahaba radiallahu anhum had the habit to celebrate the Isra al-Miraj, it would be something common very well now. And we now have no issue about the day and the date and all that, subhanAllah. But we are sure it happened, subhanAllah. Now, going back again to the background of Isra al-Miraj, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on around the 10th year of prophethood, meaning 10 years after he became a prophet, he realized that the people of Mecca are not really interested in Islam. Actually, they are rejecting Islam. A lot of people were being pushed out. Some of them migrated to Abyssinia, including his own daughter, with Uthman radiallahu anhu. And many other Sahaba, some were killed. Like Sumayya bint al-Khayyat, or her husband Yasir. Subhanallah. And he tried his best. Whenever it used to be the time of Hajj, a lot of Arabs from different tribes used to come, and he tried to talk to them, preach them. And of course, there was a lot of resistance. Some they accept, some they listen, and they just go. It looks like he got enough. Especially after what we call the boycott of the value of Abu Talib, Shah Abu Talib, which we talked about earlier. So he felt like probably Islam would not, or Mecca is not the right place for Islam. He needs to go outside. So the closest place to him, it was a Ta'if, a city called a Ta'if, which is a beautiful city compared to Mecca when it comes to the weather. They have palm trees, they have fruit, they have a lot of good things, and they were rich people, by the way. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the company of his best companion, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, decided to go to the people of Ta'if. The people of Ta'if called also the people of Thaqif. The historian said that Rasulullah maybe walked from Mecca to Ta'if. It's around 60 kilometers. You could imagine a person like him who was 50 years old at that time. And it's not in the car or in a bus, it's walking. And you know how the weather is in Mecca, subhanAllah. Anyway, he arrived to Ta'if and he tried to speak to the leaders of the Ta'if. But the rejection from them was just horrible. Some of them, they listened to him and then they said, either you are saying the truth or you are a liar. If you are a liar, then we're not even interested in listening to you. But if you are saying the truth and you are a prophet, it means you are too much for us even to talk to you. So we're not listening to you, being sarcastic. Another group said that لولا أنزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم. If this Quran that you're talking about could be revealed, it should not be revealed to the orphans of Banu Abdul Muttalib. They are talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But should be revealed to one of the leaders, either the leader of Mecca, the leader of Taif, by you. We don't think that you deserve that. And the Quran recorded this statement. Another one also, and that's also recorded in the Quran, said to him, you know why do you want me to believe in you? I only want an ocean. I want to see you flying in the heaven, going, bring with you Allah, the angels, and the Quran, and then I will think if I will believe in you or not. And I may not believe in you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam definitely was very upset, disappointed. And they talked back and forth. He said, okay, just keep this conversation between me and you, just between me and you. They said, no, we will tell the people of Mecca that you came and you are being rejected. Not only that, they told all the little small kids, crazy people, go after him. They ran after the Prophet ﷺ, throwing him with stones, calling him names, pushing him. And I would really like you to visualize this incident. A man in his 50s, very respectful person, walking, and people calling him names, throwing him with stones, that he started bleeding, exhausted, tired, until he got to a place like a garden. There he was able to go inside, and he was saved. The guard of that place was able to chase those kids and run away. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, exhausted, tired, even in the hadith, he said to Aisha radiallahu anha, she asked him, what was like the worst day in your life? He said, the day when I went to Taif and I was rejected by those people. Anyway, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam just said, put his back to the wall, and then he raised his hand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, if any of us, what you would say, oh Allah, why this is happening to me? What did I do? I'm just trying to guide the people to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taking all this hardship. But Rasulullah sallallahu in a beautiful and long dua, I'm just going to take 2-3 words from it. He said, إِلَّا يَكُنْ بِكَ عَلَيَّ غَضَبٌ فَلَا أُبَالِ. Oh Allah, if you're not angry with me, I don't mind. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he's the best who could do the tahqiq of ubudiyyah. He knows that he is a servant of Allah. Whatever happening from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will accept it. If Allah is not angry with him, that's actually the biggest achievement. At that moment, subhanAllah, I remember whenever the reward from Allah comes, it comes huge and big, more than your expectation. The guard of that garden came closer to him with some grapes, some water, because he saw him tired, exhausted, and he gave him that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam looked at him, he said, this is a gift. Rasulullah doesn't accept charity regularly. So he took it and he said, Bismillah. So this is another part of the da'wah. Even at that moment, he remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that person, when he heard the word Bismillah, he said, this is weird. The people of this area, they don't talk like this, they don't speak like this. Rasulullah looked at him and he said, where are you from? He said, I am from a city called Nineveh. Oh, Rasulullah said, ذَلِكَ بَلَدُ الرَّجُلِ الصَّالِحِ يُونُسُ بْنُ مَتَّى. Oh, that's the city of the very pious person, Yunus, son of Metta. And the man was surprised. How do you know about Yunus ibn Matta? Nobody in this area knows about Yunus ibn Matta. He said, ذَلِكَ نَبِي. He was a prophet. And I am a prophet too. The person was very surprised that someone knows about Yunus ibn Matta, the prophet. And that person wanted him to kiss the hands of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's like he's accepting. It's like this is the first sign to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, telling him, if the people of Taif and people of Mecca rejected you, there are people who will accept you. Here's the first one. Anyway, make it short, Rasulullah continued his way back to Mecca. In his way, he stopped by a valley called the Valley of Jinn. SubhanAllah. And there, the revelation came to him. وَإِصْرَفْنَا إِلَيْكَ نَفَرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ. Actually, the valley called Wadi al-Jinn, the valley of Jinn. Arab used to believe that Jinn lives in that place. And the Quran confirmed that in this verse that I just mentioned, and also in the beginning of Surah Al-Jinn, قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا يَهْدِي إِلَى الرُّشْدِ فَآمَنَّا بِهِ وَلَنْ نُشْرِكَ بِرَبِّنَا أَحَدًا. So some group of jinn heard the Prophet ﷺ reciting the Quran, And they were so impressed and amazed, and they said, this is an amazing Quran, we believed in it. It's like another sign to the Prophet ﷺ. If the people of Ta'if rejected you, people of Mecca rejected you, there are some other creatures that they are ready to accept you. And these are jinn who believe in Muhammad ﷺ. Rasulullah ﷺ continued his way to Mecca. It was just a matter of a couple of days. Again, this is the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the hardship that Rasulullah ﷺ was taking and was accepting. Because it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why I said, when the reward comes from Allah, it's just amazing. In the middle of the night, Jibreel alayhi salam will come, wake up the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he will take him outside, come close to me. And there, again, according to some of the historians, the incident of Shaq al-Sadr will happen again. That Jibreel will open his heart, clean it, put something special in it, to make him ready for a special journey, which is we don't know what is it. And then a kind of creature, an animal, or a heavenly animal, it says between the horse and the mule, with wings, subhanAllah, and that's called al-buraq, as we know. And subhanAllah, Rasulullah was asked to ride that kind of creature. Some of the historians said that that creature refused in the beginning to let anyone ride him, but Jibreel spoke to this creature saying, do you not know who is this one who is about to ride you? This is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's no human being ever that is more valuable in the eyes of Allah than him. Anyway, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will be riding that creature from Mecca to Jerusalem. Is this a miracle? Yeah, it's a miracle. Can we accept this? If we can accept that Ibrahim alayhi salam was put in the fire and didn't get burned, why shouldn't we accept that Rasulullah could fly from Mecca to Jerusalem? If we accept, which is just the Hafi just recited, that Maryam alayhi salam got pregnant without being touched by any man, why we're not going to accept that Rasulullah was able to go from Mecca to Jerusalem? If we believed also, subhanAllah, that Isa alayhi salam was able to cure the people's diseases and blind people, bringing back people to life, why are we not going to accept the incident that flying from Mecca to Jerusalem? Maybe for us we didn't think about it this way, but actually even now we, at this moment, if we take someone who lived 1,000 years before us, and we tell him that people could fly from New York to all the way to China. They say, what are you talking about? That's impossible. No, they go in something called airplane. They say, no, you're just talking nonsense. A person who lived 1,000 years ago, would he accept this from us? Say, no, it makes no sense. Or you just tell him we have something called cellular phone, and I can talk to someone who is from Australia, and I can see him and talk to him and follow him. They say, no. And if you show him, say, this is jinn. It's not the truth. Anyway, going back again. Rasulullah was being taken from Mecca to Jerusalem, and there he was surprised. In the Masjid al-Aqsa was all lines, people waiting for him. They give him the honor to lead them. And actually, who are these? All the prophets and messengers. You may ask, how is that? Those prophets and messengers already died. Again, you're talking about the unseen, you're talking about ghaibiyat. You're talking about something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to do, al-qadir. And actually the idea is to honor Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Although he's the last one among all of them, but he's the one who has the afdaliyya among all of them. That he will be the imam and the leader to lead all the prophets and the messengers, subhanAllah. Is that possible? Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, you confirm. تِلْكَ الرُّسُلُ فَضَّلْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. These are the messengers, but some of them has afdaliyya over others. Rasulullah led them in prayer, and he just had an idea that this ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is supposed to be the leader of all the other ummah. Then the incident of Miraj will be taking place. Rasulullah will be taken now from earth to heaven. Is that possible again? Same things were applied over here. The qudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unlimited. If it depends on our ability, we're going to say, no, that's not possible. Physically, logically it doesn't make sense. But when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, kun fayakun, it says be and will happen. It says at the first, they arrived at the first heaven, they knocked the door, who is? He said, this is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Our bu'ath, he's been sent, yes. So he said, I saw Adam, his father Adam, on the first heaven. And then in the second heaven, the same story, he goes, subhanAllah, knocking the door, and he said, there I saw the two cousins, Yahya and Isa alayhi salam, because they're these cousins. And he went to the third heaven, and he said, I saw Yusuf alayhi salam, and he said, وَقَدْ أُوتِيَ شَطْرَ الْجَمَالِ. He's being given half of the beauty that was being given to all mankind, subhanAllah. Then he went to the fourth heaven, and he said, there was Idris, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned him, وَرَفَعْنَاهُ مَكَانًا عَلِيًّا. And in the fifth heaven, subhanAllah, as is being mentioned, where is Musa will be in the sixth, Ibrahim will be in the seventh, and in the fifth, we'll come back to that. Go into all the heavens, subhanAllah, to each one of them. And some scholars, they said, why only those specific prophets and messengers? They said, each one of them is related to the Prophet ﷺ in something that will happen in the life of the Prophet ﷺ. We'll put that on the side. We'll continue the story. Now at the seventh heaven, Rasulullah ﷺ reached that level, and Jibreel ﷺ told him, now it's up to you to continue. I cannot be with you. وَمَا مِنَّا إِلَّا لَهُ. Everyone له مقام. Every one of us has a maqam, has a standard, has a limit, and he cannot go beyond the seventh heaven. All the angels cannot go beyond the seventh heaven unless they are being allowed and qualified. In a version which is kind of weaker, it says that Jibreel alayhi salam, when he said to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Muhammad sallallahu said to him, أَوَفِي هَذَا الْمَكَانِ يَدْعُوهُ الْخَلِيلُ خَلِيلًا. Is this the place where a good friend, he will abandon his friend? Like you're abandoning me? He said, yeah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If I try to cross, I will be burned. But if you try to cross, you will see the beauty of the Jalal, subhanAllah. So what happened there? We just, and if Rasulullah sallallahu didn't tell us much, but what he said there, he said, I could hear Sarir al-Aqlam, the sound of the writing of the pen. It's like the maqadir is being written, subhanAllah. They also said in that area, subhanAllah, there, أوحى إلى عبده ما أوحى. There, Rasulullah was able, or he spoke to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did he see Allah? Definitely not. We have the hadith, which is sure, Aisha, Umar, they all asked Rasulullah, did you see your Lord? هل رأيت ربك? And he said, no, أنا أراه. He's a light, how can I see him? If we cannot even see the light of the sun in the middle of the day, in August, if you open your eyes, you cannot even. So how are you going to be able to see the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? There Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam a few things. One of them is the salat. The salat, which is most of us feel like a burden, for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it was not a burden. It's actually the opposite, is the connection between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That if he wants to come, he doesn't want to come back. But Allah said to him, whenever you want to talk to me, you just say Allah Akbar and you are in the prayer. And according to the history, probably most of you know, it was 50 salat. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduced it to 5, and still he kept the reward as 50. Al-Hasanatu bi-ashri amthaliha. Whenever you do one good deed is multiplied by 10. So the 5 prayers would be equal to 50. And this is only given to this ummah, subhanAllah. So Al-Hasanatu bi-ashri amthaliha. And this is one of the gift that was given to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Quicker, just few minutes to finish this. Rasulullah came back again. In his way back, he saw a lot of things. He saw heaven and he saw hellfire. He saw people are being punished badly. People who does not wake up for Fajr, doesn't pray for Fajr, people who eat riba, people who are, subhanAllah, they do go for zina, and he saw their punishment, which is just horrible. And he saw also the people who does good things. But now he arrived back to Mecca. When he was arriving to Mecca, he passed by a group of people, subhanAllah. And those group of people, they lost one of their camels. And Rasulullah was able to see it. So he just talks to them from far, which is they couldn't see him. He said, your camel is just behind a certain area. They heard the sound, they didn't see anybody. They got there, they were able to get the camel. He also got thirsty. He went down in another group of people, and they had some little container of water, and they were sleeping. He took off that and he drank it. He continued his way. Once he got back now to Mecca, subhanAllah, and he was talking, he met the first ones, Abu Jahl, subhanAllah, around the Kaaba. I said, what's new? Rasulullah told him, last night I went to Jerusalem and I came back. Abu Jahl, he loved that. What? Are you serious? He said, yes. He said, would you tell this to the people? So, of course. So he started calling people, come and see what your guys say. Calling Abu Bakr. And look what he's saying. He said, we traveled for a month, and we come for a month, and he said he went in a matter of a couple of hours in the night and came back. Somebody hitting their head, somebody making jokes, somebody making fun, and they called Abu Bakr Siddiq, come and see what he said. He said, no, he doesn't say that. He said, no, indeed, he said that. He said, إِن كَانَ قَدْ قَالَهُ فَقَدْ صَدَقَ. Okay, if he said, then I believe him. And then he said, إِنِّي أُصَدِّقُهُ أَنَّهُ يَقُولُ أَنَّهُ أَنَّ الْوَحْيَ يَأْتِيهِ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. I believe him when he said, a revelation comes from heaven, and I'm not going to believe him in something like this. SubhanAllah. So this incident took place, and a lot of people didn't accept it, a lot of people rejected it. To finish this, they start questioning him. Okay, if you say that you went to Jerusalem, we have proof. Can you prove it? Say, okay, tell me, what can I do? They say, okay, why don't you describe for us how Jerusalem looks like? The Masjid al-Aqsa. Rasulullah never went there. It's just a matter that he went in the middle of the night, offered prayer. So what he could remember? We have been coming to this masjid for so long. If I ask some of you how many doors are here, you may not remember. But they were asking him. He said, when they start asking me questions, and I felt not comfortable because I don't, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Jibreel alayhi salam, he could make me see the Jerusalem. And I was describing whatever he asked me, the windows, the doors, the colors. Still, they did not believe. People, they don't believe because of miracles. Because the hidayah is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will stop over here, so ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you all of us. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم. Yes, go ahead.
There is an argument also that this is a dream. What is their argument about?
Okay. To make it very simple. If it was a dream, then we should not even discuss this. Me, myself, or you, brother, if you come tomorrow to Muslim Center and you tell us, last night I had a dream, I flied from Muslim Center to Pakistan. Can we deny your dream? We don't have no right to say it's a dream. Right? So a dream cannot even be questioned. It's a dream, you could dream whatever you want. But the incident was not a dream. If it was a dream, then the kuffar, the mushrikeen would not even discuss this. So this is what happened. It actually narrated that Muawiyah, radiallahu anhu, he's the one who said, كانت رؤيا من الله صادقة. It was a ru'ya. It was a dream. But the ahadith of Isra and Miraj are being narrated by more than 20 or something Sahabi. All of them, they said this incident, it did happen. Plus, the people which is put this argument, which is very, not even 2 or 3 of them, these people, let's say Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. Muawiyah was not even a Muslim yet at this incident. Aisha radiallahu anha was very young. Or probably she was not even born. Okay, she was born, probably she was 6, 7 years old or something. So the big Sahaba that we're talking about, that they narrated the story, all of them witnessed, attended this. So when we have something famous, mashhur, authentic, if someone said a different opinion, the opinion will not be even taken in consideration. Again, as I mentioned to you, if it was a dream, then it should not even be a problem. Why should it be a miracle if we talk about a dream? Why should we even talk about it if it's a dream? Also, you, me, anyone can dream about whatever he wants, inshallah.
No, I believe.
Yes.
There is I say like this, there are some big scholars. What is their argument? Why they believe that this is a dream?
Well, that's what I tried to answer to you. I say those scholars who said that took the hadith of Muawiyah or Aisha that they say it was a dream. So from them they said, okay, this person said it was a dream. Because of that, they mentioned that it was just a dream. I said those that you're talking about, even you say big scholar, any big scholar cannot be big compared to a Sahabi. So if I collect all the scholars of the Ummah from now until the 1st century and I have the saying of Sahaba, if the scholars say something different than the Sahaba, the opinion of the scholars has no value. Because who knows the deen better? Sahaba. Who lived with the Prophet? Sahaba. Who believed better? Sahaba. Who had faith in Allah? Sahaba. So if the scholars have a different opinion than the Sahaba, their opinion will not be even considered. Yes, they may have a different opinion. And this is again the beauty of Islam, that people has the right to argue, to give a different opinion. But in the end, it is what the Sahaba said, subhanAllah.
It is also mentioned in the Quran, you said. So
it is mentioned in the Quran. Because, okay, just a little touch here. The beginning of Surah Al-Isra, it says, Subhana alladhi asra. The word Subhan in Arabic language, any place in the Quran, or in general, the way how the Arab used to say it, whenever something is amazing or extraordinary or it's not usual. Like you see something, say, Subhanallah, it's like, this is amazing. So the incident of traveling from Mecca to Jerusalem, it's something that people will not accept it. Because nobody will have, accept logically that they could travel from Mecca to Jerusalem. If you look at the ayah also, it says, Subhana alladhi asra, meaning praise or glory to the one who made his servants traveling, doing Isra. It doesn't say that Muhammad made Isra, but it says he made his servants making Isra. So if you say Muhammad doing it, I say Muhammad may not be able to make it. But if I say the Lord of Muhammad made Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam making it, okay, now there's no issue with that.
About the Salat, it was given Rasulullah there.
Yes.
And up to that time, what was the mode of worship for the Muslims, like besides
We don't know, honestly, but there was some prayer. We know, so for example, like how the Christian they pray. So it was just like supplication, but there was no specific way of praying. The proof of that, of what you're saying, the story which is mentioned also in the Bukhari and other hadith, it says, the next day, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Jibreel came to him. And Jibreel is the one who taught him how to pray. He first prayed that he prayed with him, it was actually Dhuhr, because Fajr was already gone. He prayed with him Dhuhr, he prayed with him Asr, he prayed with him Maghrib, Isha, and Fajr. And each prayer, Jibreel was leading Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in every prayer, teaching him what to do, what to say, when to stand, when to bow down, when sujood, when ruku', what to say in the tashahhud. So it's all a ibadah exclusively from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, taught from Jibreel or by Jibreel to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So these are the very first time that the salat, the way we pray. But let me add a little touch. The prayer, how it used to be, how it was taught by Jibreel, all the prayers were only 2, 2, 2, 2. Only after Hijrah, there will be abrogation, and that the prayers will be the way that we know now, will be 2, 4, 4, 3, and 4. Khair, inshallah? Allah forgive all of us. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. La ilaha illallah.
They did like